Yes, we'll take a moment, get comfortable. We'll find a seat. So wherever you're at, find a comfortable seat where you can really feel your spine lengthen. You know, I find that lifting my hips above my knees helps me. You know, because if you're sitting without a block, you tend to come into that roundness. But if you put the block under, it just helps you really lengthen up. Not a straight line, but close. Nikki, you have any requests? It's just us right now.
I'm trying to unmute. I have a sore back, so anything neck and shoulders and back would be nice. I don't know.
No, it's all about cactus arms today.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Well, have fun. Yeah, don't push yourself. Just keep it mellow, right? You know, we're just trying to explore the edges. We don't have to push it past. You know, once you start coming close, you're like, oh, I'm gonna back off a little. So, yeah. So let's come into our seat, nice and long, and then just let our head come down, and just drop and just hang. Just find that. Notice that place, the lower neck, the upper back. See if you can let go. Scan the body and find the tension in the jaw and the shoulders, and the face. Let the forehead just droop a little bit more. Just no tension in the neck. See if you can find the center of that space, right where the neck is really bending. That pivot point. And just see if you can begin to, as you deepen your breath in through your nose, see if you can find that point with your breath and try and breathe your lungs up into that space. The low neck area, high back. So you can feel your rib cage expand and then contract back down. As we breathe into this space, we feel the back body, feel the whole lungs. If you can imagine your pelvic floor and that web of muscles, just bring awareness to them. You don't have to clench them or relax them. Just know that they're there. And just begin to breathe down into that space. Breathing up into your collarbones, into your upper back and low neck area. Full expansion. And exhale. Gently squeeze your navel towards your spine. Your head is heavy. Shoulders relaxed. We'll take a few rounds of breath here. Just notice how your body moves. The nuance. If you think about something different, focus on a different area. There's an awareness. Let's take 3 deep breaths together. Inhaling through the nose. Long exhale through the mouth. Again, inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. This time our head will rise on the inhale. So inhale through the nose. Crown of the head rises. Exhale, open the mouth. Look, release the jaw. Very nice. Let's let our right ear dip to our right shoulder. And notice the left shoulder and let that be heavy. Letting it drop down just slightly. Personalizing it with a slight tuck to the chin. And just Hold it for a moment wherever you're at. It doesn't have to be the most extreme point. Just something that feels nice, feels like you want to do this. And inhale, head comes to center, left ear to left shoulder. I'm doing the same thing. Your right hip is heavy, glutes are relaxed, your right shoulder is heavy. And playing around with that gentle tuck to the chin. And as you're ready, inhale, float it back up. All right, we're gonna mess with our shoulders again. So let's inhale, palms face out, and rise them up. And then lower them down, palms face down. So I'm gonna talk about this like the shoulder blade, if you can feel your scapula, it rotates like this. So when I say draw the pinkies in, the scapula goes like this. And so like, let's just play with our shoulder blades. So gently squeeze your shoulder blades together. So if you have a broad open chest, and then round the shoulders. And then try and open the chest and round the shoulders. So sit up, squeeze the shoulder blades together slightly, broaden across the chest. Now we'll raise our arms. And so when I say draw the pinkies in together, it's originating at the shoulder. So we're not just moving our wrist, we're moving our whole arm from the shoulder. So it's broad. You can feel that broadening across that upper back. And you can try slowly pushing your palms out and just stop when it becomes tight. But you'll see that freedom of movement is so real. And so this also applies for like when your shoulders are up by your ears. And I say shrug your shoulders against your ears. You don't want to just push your shoulders down. You want to make the scapula turn out. And that'll just naturally do it. So it's the same motion. And this is how you want your down dog, so that you know that nice broad back. So if you can face your palms forward and imagine you're pressing into the earth, feeling that broad back. Then exhale, bring it down. Inhale, palms face up, arms rise. Broaden your upper back, sink your shoulders away from your ears. And then let's come into cactus arms. So draw your elbows down, nice and gently, no need to force anything, but there's some tension in your pectorals. And let's just draw our fingers or palms down. And so feeling that in the shoulder. And right about here, it gets tight for me. So I'm going to draw it back up. Just examine that. And then when you come up, we're going to find that nice T shape, that nice strong cactus arms, or your elbows are drawing down a little bit. And we're going to draw the elbows slightly forward. And that'll accentuate that opening across the upper back. Continuing to breathe nice and deep. Inhale, arms rise without keeping that broad upper back. And then exhale, come back to cactus arms. Refine that, so play with the elbow position. Probably going to draw the elbows just slightly forward to feel that opening in the back. And we're going to draw the elbows together, nice and slowly, bringing the right elbow over the left. And find a little eagle arms. And so we're going to gently draw our elbows forward until you feel that nice place in the back. So you want that same upper back position. And then inhale and draw your elbows up. You find that nice thing. No tension in the neck. So if you're pushing it too hard, if you're feeling strained, just back off. Just hold it at that gentle place. And then inhale, return to cactus arms. Exhale. And then on your next inhale, draw your arms up. And one more time. Cactus arms. Find the right elbow position. So play with it a little bit. Feel the space across your open chest, across your broad back. And as you're ready, left arm over right, opposite way. So draw your elbows slightly forward without overextending. If you did, just feel free to draw them back. Find that nice, comfortable back position. And inhale, feel your elbows lift up. Breathing nice and deep. Remembering that point at the base of the neck. upper back area. And as you're ready, inhale. Let your arms unwind, draw them up, and let's fold forward, leading with the crown of the head. Let your hands come to the earth. And walk your hands out. Just feel whatever your body wants. We can walk our hands over to the right and reach your left hand slightly farther than your right hand, right fingertips, and keep your left hip heavy. See if you can relax your low body. Those glutes like to squeeze. Relax the jaw. And then let's walk our hands back to center and keep them going over to the left. The right hip is nice and heavy as you reach your right fingertips just a little bit further than your left hand. And then let's walk them back to center and then walk them in. All right, let's come on to our backs. We'll just feel these positions. So let's start with your knees bent, feet on the ground. And wiggle the hips and just let your sacrum feel that with the breath across your low back. Get your shoulders into a comfortable position. And just breathe and notice the space between your low back and the earth. And it shifts throughout the breath. Check in with your neck. Maybe you want to tuck your chin slightly. Feel that a little bit extra length. Pay attention to detail. Feeling your hips heavy against the mat. As we inhale, we'll just slowly lower or raise our right leg. And we can flex those toes. Bring the energy. Well, you can relax it too and just have that weight. And just notice the hips. And then flex through the toes and push up through the heel. And notice the hips. And you can bring it, you can feel your core slightly engaging. And see if you can even out the weight as best you can. Doesn't have to be perfect, but just an awareness that your hips move when your leg moves. Let's do 3 ankle circles in each direction. So nice and slow. Just moving all the way to the right. Flexing fully all the way to the left. Flexing fully, or pointing. And then go the opposite direction. And notice where the hips are. And set it down. We'll do the left side. So inhale. No, nice and slow so you can feel that as your foot rises up, you can feel that just the weight shift in your low back. So you can point your toes, then flex your toes and push up through the heel, similar to a warrior 3 position. And the weight slightly shifts so you accommodate. You place your hand on your belly, you can feel those muscles actively engaged. Let's take 3 slow foot circles, just finding the edge, but not going past. Once you bump up the warning area, that's good enough, but just finding that nice slow motion. Maybe there's a couple of clicks, and go the opposite direction. And then set it down. And notice the sacrum, notice the hips. Notice where your neck is, your shoulder tension. And so now we'll go through our little bit of core. So let's draw our calves to parallel. And really, if you have a hand on your belly, you can feel your abdominis rectus firing up. And so let's push our low back into the earth and just really keep this engagement. Really helps bring the body together. And as you're ready, lower the right toes and just tap them to the earth. And when they return to the top, just lower your left toes nice and slowly. Just tap them and keeping your belly engaged. Just pursue to your own pace, moving with your breath. It's the intentional movement. It's not difficult. I think everyone's probably strong enough to have some level to do this exercise. But it's the intentionality of just like moving slowly and following your form, noticing those hips. Let's find that stillness. You're welcome to keep doing toe taps, but if you're feeling like that was really easy, straighten your legs, push your low back into the earth. I'm going to point our toes and slowly lower our right foot down till it's 3 inches above the mat. And on an exhale, push your low back down, raise it up. Inhale and lower that left leg nice and slowly. Let it hover just a couple inches off the ground. And on your exhale, bring it up. So just, if your low back starts peeling off, that's your point. Don't do that. Go back to the toe touches. And maintain that focus. Your whole body engaged. Your whole mind is in this room. And if you feel like you have that pretty well and your back isn't peeling up, you can lower both legs. Gently squeezing them together, pushing that low back into the earth. And moving with the breath, nice and slow. Pushing that low back down. And one more. And bend the knees and place them down. So let's do some windshield wipers. So just let both knees fall to the right. Your left hip can be off the mat, but just let it be heavy. And then draw our knees to center and let the knees fall to the left side. If you want to make it more of a twist, you look over your opposite shoulder. And as you're ready, come back, bring the knees up. And so now we're going to try a bird dog, but on our back. So just to feel that position. So let's straighten our right leg and bring our left knee into that kneeling position. And then we're going to have our right hand reaching up. So find that shoulder place. And then we're going to have our left arm going up. So you might want to restart and just do one thing at a time. But first you find that pushing out through that right heel. Fire up that quad. If you touch your quad, you can feel that muscle as you draw your kneecap up towards the hip. The left knee is nice and light here because there's no pressure on it, but yeah, that's push it it's just there. Your right hand, so play with the shoulders, pushing into the earth evenly through the weight of the hand, and then the left arm is raised. I might have this backwards. And then exhale, and we'll go to the opposite side. I just thought of this if you didn't imagine. So let's find our tabletop position, and then we'll extend our opposite leg. Our left leg forward, right arm up. Left hand pushing into the earth, but we have that nice broad upper back. Reaching out through the left heel and through the crown of the head and the right fingertips. And then draw your knees up and give yourself a hug. Maybe a little side to side roll on your sacrum. Gentle with the neck, jaws relaxed. And then we'll rock forward, come to meeting tabletop. So wherever you want to get there, I like to grab my knees and take some gentle rocks on the spine. Just waking them up. And when you're ready, you can cross your ankles and come into your tabletop position. So first find your wrists over your shoulders over wrists, knees over hips. Find your alignment And just push into the earth with your hands. Nice strong foundation. If you were to touch your belly, your core is slightly engaged, but not trembling. Pushing down to the base of the index finger and the base of the thumb. Feel your upper back nice and broad. So if you let your chest sink, you can feel those shoulders wing up. If you come into this exaggerated turtle back, it's a little too much, but you can find that place and lower down, sink in. It's a nice broad upper back. It's not too hard, but there's some muscle engagement. And let's rotate some cat-cows. So inhale, let the belly drop as the crown of the head rises. And then exhale, slowly lower the head, moving with the breath. Squeezing the glutes, let the head be heavy. Inhale. Rise the crown of the head at the top of the breath. Noticing where the back goes as you move with your own pace. And as you're ready, come back to a flat back. That slight toning of the core. And let's step our left pinky forward so you feel that weight shift to the right hand. So see if you can distribute it through the 3 limbs and through that palm of the hand. And we're just going to raise that left arm up to parallel, pushing down to that right hand. You feel your belly. And exhale, set it down. Inhale, right hand rises parallel. Core engage, the weight distribution, pushing down to the whole hand. And exhale, set it down. And take it to the right foot. So step your right foot back, even out the weight in the hands, and really engage that right quadricep. Push out to that right heel, flex the ankles. And see if you can keep the toes pointing at the floor. As you inhale and draw it up to the level. So you're keeping the sacrum nice and aligned. Shoulders are not, they're just in a flat back. Crown of the head reaching forward as you push out through the heel. And exhale, set it down. And we'll go to our left foot, extending that left feet back. Before you raise it, get that fired up. So find that position you want it to be in. It's a lot easier than adjusting on the fly. This way we're prepared. So flex that left foot, reach out through those left heel. And then inhale. Keep reaching left heel back, flexing the toes, keeping pointed at the ground. Check in with the weight distribution on the hands. And exhale, lower the knee. Now we'll do a little bit more. So let's go opposite elbow, opposite limbs. So extend that left pinky forward and do your preparation. Feel your abs light up. Push out through that right heel. Inhale, raise up. Find that full extension of the bird dog. Exhale, lower down. Notice the difference in the body as we go to the right side. Right hand forward, left foot back. Find your engagement. Find your gaze a couple inches in front of your hands. And then inhale. Flex the toes. Push out to the heel. Raise the arm. Pushing down to that left hand. And exhale, set it down. Let's spread our knees. We'll reach our hips back. Come into a child's pose. Let your head be heavy. You're free to wiggle your hips. Just take a moment for yourself. And as you're ready, we're going to come on to our bellies and come into our Sphinx. Your elbows probably underneath your shoulders, but if your shoulders or your back is sore, just walk your elbows forward a little bit. Nobody to impress here. Just yourself by staying able. So as we're here, imagine a nice broad chest. So your shoulders gently squeeze together, pushing down to the forearms. If the forearms are nice and stable, and then draw your elbows gently back towards the hips. Nice broad chest, but the back is not constricted. And release. Stack one hand over the other and let your forehead come down. You want to wiggle your hips and find a little release. And we'll come into another Sphinx. So draw the elbows back under the shoulders. Push down to the forearms. Pushing down with the elbows and drawing them back toward the hips. Shoulder blades are strong, broad. No, they're opening through the chest. Your shoulder blades squeeze together. Excuse me. The neck is comfortable, and see if you can reach forward with your nose and open up and so you can bring your gaze a little bit higher, increasing the back bend. And exhale. Stack your hands the opposite direction. Bring your forehead down. If you like, you can bend your knees and take a windshield wiper. Or you can find stillness. As you're ready, come back to center. Place your hands below your shoulders. Tuck the toes. Push up, downward facing dog. Just if you have to use your knees, it's fine. We're still warming up. Starting the day. So pedal your feet out liberally as you like, whatever your body's calling for. Just keep it loose. I really like bending one knee and then the other. And then I think about my hands and the shoulders. But first it's the hamstrings and the calves. Just taking a few of those. Reaching the heel down. And then you take a nice deep bend in the knees. You push through the hands. Push down to the base of the index finger, base of the thumb. Distribute that weight. Now we're going to move those shoulder blades away from each other, like rotate them up. So you find your upper outer arms drawing in towards the body, opening up the upper back. And you don't have to do it intensely. And then inhale, come to your tiptoes. Exhale, heels towards the mat. Hands pushing into the earth, hips rising from the sky. Then inhale, come forward to plank. Adjusting the feet as needed, letting the hips be heavy. Reaching out through the heels, pushing down to the full hand. Reaching out through the crown of the head. And exhale, downward facing dog. And pedal it out. These muscles can never be stretched enough. And as you're ready, let's pull forward to plank. And I'm going to have everybody lower their knees now, even if you can do everything with a full plank. So just let it down. And you can feel your abdominis rectus right here, still working. And we're going to do this bird dog thing again. So let's start with our left hand. So find that weight distribution, pushing down to that right hand, base the index finger. Keeping your upper back and the sacrum nice and level. Reach that left hand forward, feeling that core. And then inhale, bring it up to parallel. And then exhale, set it down. Push it down firmly. Spread that weight in the left hand. Feeling the pectorals. Inhale, let right hand forward. Noticing that weight distribution and not overly over accounting for it. Feeling your abs engaged. Inhale, arm to parallel. Breathing slowly and deeply. It's not that hard. Maybe it's really hard. And then let's bring that right hand down. So keeping that left knee down. Oh, this is hard enough and we want the technique to be good. So find that flex in your toes, turn on your quadricep. Inhale, bring it up to parallel. And then when you're ready, bring that knee back down, still behind the hips, and go to the left side. So reach out through the left heel. And then as you're ready, inhale, draw it up, reaching out through that heel, minding the sacrum and the shoulders. And exhale, set it down. Now, if you want to come up into plank, and we'll do it one more round, you're welcome to take a child's pose and see if you can bring your left hand out to center, keeping your hips and shoulders nice and level, and set it down. Right hand reaches forward, staying nice and level in the hips, pushing down to the left hand, set it down. Bring your right foot, reach out through your heel, toes flexed at the earth, hips nice and heavy, set it down. And one more time with that left heel, so reaching out to that left heel in the crown of the head, shoulders nice and broad, push up, downward facing dog, pushing into the hands, finding stillness, running through a vinyasa, if that's in your practice, or just taking a child's pose. As we're ready, bend our knees nice and deep, and walk our feet forward to the front of the mat, taking 10 baby steps. And when we arrive, let our knees be bent, the head heavy, and let your fingertips just drape on the earth. Let your head be heavy, and shake it yes and shake it no. As you inhale, keep your knees deeply bent, fingertips just dangling. Take 3 breaths to come to standing. Shrug your shoulders to your ears. And then meet in Tadasana. So open your chest, palms face forward. Gently rock and find the center of the gravity, center of the feet. Up to the tiptoes, onto the heels, and side to side, over to the right edge of the foot, outside left edge. And then try and find the center of everything. So inhale, feel the crown of the head rise. And then root down through the heels. Quadriceps are turned on, but not trembling. It's a passive engagement. Let's inhale our arms up. And then exhale, let's bring it back to cactus arms. Too fast. So bring it down to cactus arms and find that engagement. So picture that broad upper back as you draw your elbows slightly forward. Heels are reaching into the earth. Legs are nice and strong. And let's take a gentle twist. So we're going to try and keep our hips nice and square as we draw our low right rib cage towards the back of the room. And you can gently, easily just look over your right shoulder. No strain in the neck. Your eyeballs are moving. And then inhale, return to center. And find a gentle twist to the opposite side. So keeping those hips nice right there, we're just going to rotate the upper body. Low left rib cage drawing back. Core is engaged. And inhale, return to center. Let's shake out our shoulders. Inhale, arms rise. Broad upper back. Exhale, lead with the crown of the head and fold. Nice bend in the knees, dangle the neck. Inhale, gently squeeze the shoulder blades together as you bring your hands to your thighs. Crown of the head extends forward and fold. Inhale, arms rise. Keep that bend in the knees. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale and fold. Keep that bend in the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Bend in the knees. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, lead with the crown of the head and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Finding that nice balance of the broad chest and open back and fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. I think I'm going to buy a camera so I can have this wide view. So let's make sure our feet are sound, so rock forward and back, side to side. Now we're going to try one more bird dog here. So we're going to bring our right knee into that tabletop position, perpendicular, and raise our opposite arm. Maybe we can bring our right hand to push into the earth. So I really like doing all these poses in different orientations. So keeping that engagement. You wanted to move your left arm down to the outside and your right knee to the outside. Or maybe, well, I don't know if that works. And set it down. It's just an experiment. It's good to try things out and play with the balance. So find the weight in your right foot. So you're pushing out through that heel, pushing down into the earth. Inhale, draw the left knee to parallel. Check in with your rib cage, draw your low ribs towards your hips. Find your opposite arm reaching up. And push into the earth. And you can play with the shoulder, where that ground would be. And keep the upper back nice and broad. Breathe into the base of the neck. Nice long rib cage breaths. And if you're comfortable, you can bring your right arm to the outside, your left knee. You could raise your arm. You can do whatever you want. This is your class. And exhale. Set it all the way down. And shake it out. So, shrug the shoulders. Take any movement you want. And now we're going to come into our standing series. So inhale, fingertips out and up, arms rise, legs are nice and strong. Exhale, lead with the crown of the head and fold. I'm going to get a cameraman. Once I get a job, I'll hire a cameraman. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, set the right foot way back, find your low lunge. So left knee stacked right over left ankle, reaching out through the right heel, wiggling through the hips. So you're generally drawing your right hip forward to keeping your hips square with the short edge of the mat. Again, pushing out through that heel, squeezing your inner thighs. As you're ready and strong, inhale, rise up. High lunge. And I like to check in with my hips, so I bring my hands and use that steering wheel and really just dial it in. This is square. We're close to square, but it's not all cattywampus, and I'm sure of that. And as you're ready, inhale, arms rise, and then broaden the upper back so your pinkies rotate in towards each other. But it's not just your pinkies, it's the whole shoulder blade, reaching out to that back heel. Knee leaning in, stacking that left knee over the left ankle. Breathing nice and deep. Inhale, crown of the head rises. Reaching out to that back heel. As we inhale, we're going to go lead forward with the with the nose, just slightly, so we can keep that space in the back of the neck. And then we carve out that space with the nose and find that nice mid-back stretch, keeping the legs nice and strong. And then let's bounce that back foot forward and find a warrior one. So bounce that back foot about a foot and a half distant up. So your hips are still going to be generally facing the short edge. Your back foot's at a 45-degree angle. And they're not in a line. The heels are not in a line. They're parallel railroad tracks, they say. And if this is super easy, you can bounce that back foot a little bit, readjust your hips. Pushing down to the outside edge of the back foot. And then lean into that front knee so it's stacked over the ankle. Inhale, arms rise. Feel that broad upper back. If the ribs start jutting out, draw them down towards the pelvis. Pushing down to the front heel. Pushing down to the outside edge of the right foot. Maybe you come into a slight back bend, leading with the nose. Keeping that space. And then as we exhale, straighten that front leg. Place your left hand on your quad and just fire it up. Left knee draws up and feel that muscle turn on and off. If you like, you can adjust the back foot. Keep very, very similar stance, but always allowed to make those micro adjustments. So finding that weight distribution. So energy pushing into that back foot. Inhale, crown of the head rises. Find that gentle back bend, broad open chest, and a broad open back. Somehow, you're doing it. You're doing the impossible. As you exhale, lead with the crown of the head. Holds forward, hinging at the hips. And then once you're about halfway down, you reach that edge point, then you can drape your spine. Pushing into the earth. Pushing into the outside edge of the right foot. A nice little pyramid. And draw our hands up to heart center. We'll bounce that back foot forward, coming up into warrior three onto our left foot, pushing out through our right heel. Find a nice level sacrum, nice broad back, nice strong chest. If you like, if you're nice and stable, you can Superman and bring your arms forward. Breathing nice and deep, up into that base of your neck. Reaching out through that back heel. One more breath. Inhale, draw the knee to the chest and rise. And set it down. Let's inhale, hands to heart center. Notice the both sides of the body. Shoulders relaxed, jaws relaxed. Inhale, extend the fingertips out and up. And exhale, fold. Dangle the head. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands come, shoulders squeeze, elbows in. Exhale, bend the knees deeply. Plant the hands. Step your left foot back, way back. Find your low lunge. Left right knee stacked over right ankle. Wiggle through the hips. In the end, you're probably going to be drawing that right hip back, left hip forward. Energy pushing through that back heel. Left leg's nice and strong. And as you're ready, inhale, rise. Checking back in with the hips. They probably, the load was adjusted when in transit. And if you're ready, you can feel those scapulas spread apart. As your arms rise up, creating that beautiful upper back, nice and broad. Pushing down into the right ankle, the right legs, right knee stacked. Left foot and left heel pushing out. Nice and strong in your base. And when you're nice and stable, see if we can come into a little back bend. So inhale, feel the crown of the head rise. And kind of lead with your nose. And then it'll come into a mid-back stretch. If you can, hard to cue that one, but you don't want it in the low back. And inhale. Let's bounce our back foot slightly up into the outside. Place it down at a 45-degree angle. Right knee right over right ankle. Hips are towards the short end. Inhale, arms rise. And again, broaden through those shoulders. Pushing down through that right knee heel. And then the left outside edge of the foot. Checking in with the hips. A lot of muscle engagement, but it's possible. Or so the lore says. And if you're not really feeling much, you can bounce your foot back an inch. Just do it an inch at a time because this is the psoas stretch. I think the QL is in here. quadratus laborum. So wherever you're at, let's see if we can find that back bend. So we lead with the crown of the nose, keeping that space in the back of the neck. And maybe you can bring it back, keeping that strength in the legs. And as you're ready, straighten the front leg, keeping that length, lead with the crown of the head, and fold. When you come about halfway, then you can drape. Drape your torso right over your quadricep. Breathing nice and deep. Pushing into the outside edge of the back foot. Pushing down to the right heel. If you like, you can, on an inhale, you can come out halfway, finding that length of the spine, and then re-engage. Breathing nice and deep. Up into the whole rib cage. Remembering that there is a pelvic floor and that has capacity to help you breathe better as well. And as you're ready, bring your hands to prayer position. And let's bounce our back foot forward and bring our weight up to our right foot. Left toes flex towards the ground so the hips stay nice and level. Nice and stable. Then just like in our bird dogs, reaching out to the left foot, reaching forward with the crown of the head. Breathing nice and deep. And inhale. Left knee up and set it down. We got a couple minutes. All right, let's come to the center. I really just need it like 5 feet further away. This way. So let's bring our hands to our heart center. We'll come into a tree pose. So find that balance. Like notice your feet. And let's bring the weight into our left foot. So look down, spread your right toe or your left toes nice and wide. Push down to the four corners, the big toe mound, the pinky toe mound. And really put that weight into the heel, like 70% down into the heel. Fires up the quadricep. And then we'll bring our right knee up. And we'll come into a tree. So either you can have your right toes down by your ankle with the toes on the floor, up on the calf. And we're just trying to avoid pushing into the hinge joint that doesn't, the opposite direction that it actually moves. So keeping that left leg nice and engaged, draw your right leg up and push that right foot into the thigh. And the thigh is strong enough, it's pushing back. Noticing if your left hip is shooting out a little bit. So you can re-strengthen that leg, engage the core. If you're nice and stable, you can raise your arms, branch out. It's springtime, it's summertime. Exhale, let the autumn come, lower down. Shake it out for a moment. Then go to the opposite side. So find that strength find the center of the foot. Four corners of the feet press down. And then find your tree pose. Bring your left knee to the inside of the calf. Toes on the mat, fine. All a form of balance. And if it's available, get it all the way up. Keeping your right leg nice and strong. Keeping that right hip in alignment. Crown of the head rising up. Breathing nice and deep. Right leg nice and strong. As you're ready, you can branch out. And exhale, bring it down. And everything comes down. Let's come onto our backs. Bend our knees. Letting the feet come within the width of the hips. Maybe you can reach down and brush the backs of your heels. Check in with your back and your neck. Notice the shoulder blades. See if you can broaden them out and see what that feels like. And then maybe you draw them in a little bit, squeeze the shoulder blades, bring the outer upper arm, kind of tuck it under. And noticing that curve in the low back. And as you're ready, you can inhale, start squeezing the glutes, let the hips float up. Maybe tucking the chin a little bit more. And exhale, lower down one vertebra at a time. Move with your breath. Inhale, squeeze the glutes. You can begin to push down with your upper arms and your upper back. And keep your jaw nice and relaxed as you lower down, nice and slow, full breath. Inhale, squeeze the glutes. Finding that upper body engagement. And you can reach your knees forward. Inhale, squeeze the glutes, push down the shoulders, reach your knees forward and push into the heels. And lower down. And we'll take one more and take a few breaths at the top. So inhale, squeeze the glutes, upper arms, feet, knees reach forward. Upper arms and feet pushing into the earth, knees reaching forward, to be clear. Squeeze those glutes, bend into that mid back, and exhale, lower down. Draw your knees to your chest and give yourself a little hug. You can hold your knees, maybe rock side to side. And let's extend our left leg and keep our right knee up towards our chest. And just so you can draw it up towards your armpit, so you may have to move it out around your rib cage. And you can find a flexed left foot, giving you more engagement. But you can customize this for your own needs. And then let's draw the left leg or right leg over to the left side. Gaze goes over the right shoulder as your arm tees out. And you can lift your hips and help the spine unwind. And then draw your knee back to center. And then switch your legs, extend that right foot out. Left knee draws up. And you find a little clasp there. You can move it around within the socket. And maybe draw it up towards your armpit, reaching it around your rib cage. We'll let the shoulder stay on the mat. Notice that tension in the hips, weight distribution across the shoulders, the position of your neck, the state of your jaw. And as you're ready, take your right hand to the outside of your left knee and draw it over to the right. Adjust the hips, tee out your arm. Gaze can go over the opposite shoulder or wherever your neck is comfortable. Think I'm like a human disclaimer. I'm like, you can do this. You can also do that. Freedom. And then inhale, draw the left knee back to center. Let's draw the soles of our feet together. And find a comfortable place for the hips. So if you want to walk your feet forward a little bit or draw them closer to the body, just whatever feels good to you. Tuck your chin, lengthen out the back of your neck. You can relax your palms face up, so open the broad chest. You're welcome to lower your gaze or gently shut your eyes. Maybe take a moment of reflection. You've done good work. You'll continue to do good work. You're doing the best you can. That's pretty good. That's all we can do. We just should keep trying to impress ourselves. Like, wow, I cleaned my room. Look at all those dishes I did. And then quiet the brain. Come into this space. Just let your breath be natural. Notice the belly rise and fall. Slight contour adjustments of your spine. And as you're ready, we'll extend one leg and then the other. Find our hands in a clasp and raise your arms up over your head, flexing the toes back, reaching through your heels, pushing out through the palms, full body stretch. And exhale, knees to chest. Give yourself a big hug. Thank yourself for coming to class today. And we'll roll over onto our side, either side. You can use your upper arm as a pillow. And take a full round of breath. And the next inhale, use both hands to help yourself come into a comfortable seat. And draw our hands to heart center. We'll take 3 rounds of breath. So at first, we exhale everything out. Draw the navel towards your spine. Inhale through the nose, feeling the crown of the head rise. Exhale through the mouth, long and slow. Inhale, rise. Exhale through the mouth, release the jaw. Inhale, crown of the head rises. Exhale, long and slow. All the stale air. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Spirit in me recognizes and respects the spirit in you. Namaste.